Hello everyone, Cello Doodle here, and if you are new to Animal Crossing New Horizons, you are probably overwhelmed with how amazing some islands look. The thing with most of these stunning islands is they keep to one theme. This makes it so the island looks cohesive and very well put together. Picking a theme for your island is honestly pretty daunting and one of the hardest things to do, but the great part is there's no one way to do it. If you like multiple themes, you can do that. So today I'm going to show you guys many of the different themes so you have an idea of where to start. There are, of course, many other themes than what I am listing here, but these are some of the more popular ones. The first and most popular Animal Crossing theme is Cottage Core. These islands are very detailed and can even get laggy due to the amount of items in them. These islands focus on more of a simple lifestyle of farming and nature with many wood tones. Items are often scattered around but all create a beautiful feel of hominess. The paths that are often used are wood plank, stone, as well as a path known as the path. The path is one of the key items of a cottage core island. This path has a variety of looks to it, but in general the edges are very wavy and it has multiple pieces to allow it to go in all directions, including diagonal. The path can honestly be used in many other situations, but this is where it really started. The original, the path, was dirt, but now people have added a variety of things to it like water and mushrooms. Mush items are sometimes used, but they are often the very natural colors. There also tends to be a lot of ponds, flowers, and bushes to give it more of a natural woodsy feel. There's often a lot of terraforming as well, with paths weaving through it. Due to all the terraforming, there's a lot of nooks and crannies hidden in these areas to take advantage of it, and they put things like secret libraries, coffee shop, picnic areas, rock gardens, heart palms, and farms. And honestly, the opportunities are endless with all the little nooks and crannies in this style. One thing that also sets cottagecore apart from some of the other themes is the amount of little farms you'll find. These farms are often very small and cute and surround a house and include other things like wash areas and other farm-ish things. Keeping with the farm items, there are often large orchards with things scattered around that in real life would help maintain that orchard. Often in the larger open areas, you can find adorable farmers markets, which are always interesting to explore with how many details they have, and they're so cute. The houses are rarely together in neighborhoods like other themes, and if they are, they will often be a village style on multiple levels. Cottagecore campsites are often very elaborate and have things like picnics and other fun outdoor activities to surround them. Overall, this theme feels like a walk through the mountains, and it honestly reminds me of driving through sections of the Rocky Mountains where it was very natural, but there are constantly little towns and farms selling fresh fruit, and it's just really cute and homey. Keeping close to cottagecore is a forest theme. This theme lacks the man-made items scattered around like in the cottagecore theme, and it honestly feels like a nice hike through a forest or mountain. Cottagecore often keeps a forest theme and can be really any season, even when the seasons change. It still looks amazing, whereas some other themes do not look so good outside of certain seasons. There are often a ton of trees in this theme everywhere, and bushes will be used very often to give this theme more dimension. To add more color and variety, people often use a lot of flowers, and if people don't want things as bright, they will pick flowers that are more of a natural tone like oranges and greens. Forest theme can also have some man-made things in it like ski lifts, but overall it is very natural. And a lot of times to incorporate the villager houses, they'll have a cute little village at the front, like near the resident services, but then the rest is going to be very natural. This theme is often one that is combined with something else because of that. The last more forested theme is Fairy Core. These islands are often in the spring or summer and use very bright colored flowers, bushes, and mush items. Everything is very bright and colorful. A lot of butterfly models are typically used to give it more of that fairy feel, and the villager houses are often surrounded by massive, beautiful gardens. One of the most popular sets to use in this theme is the mush set, but they use the bright color variations to give it a mystical vibe. Fairy Core is personally one of my favorites due to its bright colors and how detailed it can be, just like the Cottage Core, but just slightly different feel. One theme that is super cool and more original than some of these other ones is a jungle theme. The theme often has pirate items all over the place with graveyards and docks and shops. Running through these islands, you can find hidden treasures and even forgotten jails. Palm trees are everywhere in the theme, even on the main part of the island, which gives it more of a jungle feel. The path and other dirt pathing are commonly used next to grass, which is everywhere. Villager housing is typically set up in a port-style pirate village with barrels and seaweed everywhere. Some people will take other directions with this theme other than pirates and make it more natural and have very small villages around to avoid a ton of man-made items. This is also one of the few themes that often have a ton of sand on the main island in order to give it more of an island feel and to have palm trees grown inland. This theme is quite a bit different than some of the other Animal Crossing themes because of the palm tree and the fact that it has mostly pirate items and not the typical urban cottage core theme that most of the other styles are inspired by and keep to. Keeping with themes that are a bit more out of the box is desert themed. This theme is completely different than some of the other themes because most of the island is covered in sand. This theme can be a bit more tricky to achieve due to the lack of items, so people often have it very minimalistic. When there are items in the barren landscape, there are typically oases, rock gardens, and some of the Gulliver items from around the world. The villager housing is often in more of a market style with just different things to sell to give it more of that desert feel with little villages scattered around, but there's really not much else and it's kind of hard to see stuff off in the distance with this theme. One of the more generic themes that is easier to achieve is an urban theme. Personally, I love combining this theme with a lot of other themes. For example, an urban entrance with shops leading into a jungle, a forest, or a farm. This theme tends to have the villager homes in neatly laid out neighborhoods with front yards and streets running in straight lines. There are often shops lining the streets with various restaurants. This is one of the more generic themes which can be taken to so many different extremes that look so amazing. One of these extremes is trash core. These islands have junk everywhere. Often the streets are lined with papers, tires, and other trash. There are often large junkyards with a random assortment of items. Typically, there are many vending machines, telephone poles everywhere. Villager housing does typically have yards, but they are filled with junk. This theme at the surface seems like a pretty easy one to do, but it is one of the more intricate ones, and the islands are actually really laggy like Cottage Core. When placing all the various items, people have to be very precise to make sure you can get through while making it still seem crowded and junky and trashy. Some people have the feel of Trash Core, but will use it in smaller sections in order to make it feel like their city has a slum or just there's a trashier area of their city. These islands are often extremely laggy due to the amount of items in the small, tiny areas. Another spin off the urban theme is City Core. City Core islands are often great, but have made use of things like panels, stalls, and terraforming to get the right height of skyscrapers. These islands are also very detailed and have very interesting buildings. A lot of these islands will either have stone paths for a more modern road with sidewalks. They also have cars and buses on the side of the road to make it appear busier than it actually is. This theme often has stores scattered between the high rises, which are always super cute. Since the dollhouses were introduced to the game, many people make skylines in the distance with them using terraforming. There are often large, cluttered outdoor markets in this theme as well. This is another theme that combines really well because you can have a city with many different districts with many different themes, but all fall under that city feel. These themes will also contain parks so that the creator has a place for their trees and rocks, because otherwise, they don't have anywhere for them. One of the themes that have the most amount of items that you can use is Japanese themed. Animal Crossing originated in Japan, so it's natural that there are a lot of amazing Japanese items. People will often do outdoor markets, restaurants, bathhouses, and many other things in this theme. There are so many items in this one theme, there are endless possibilities. It is so cool to see people also combine this theme with some different movies so then they can do different callbacks, and I have seen some really amazing Japanese islands that have been made that I've toured. One theme that is not my personal favorite, but many other people love, is horror. This theme will often have Pietro living there, and many fires and haunted statues. These islands are incredibly popular to visit around Halloween. They are often uploaded to Dream Island at night to add an extra fear factor. Even though they are not my favorite, they often have fun storylines to follow. But honestly, I avoid those islands most of the time, but you should definitely check them out because they are some of the really interesting islands out there. On the opposite side of the spectrum from horror is Kidkor. These islands are often adorable with bright colors, playgrounds, and toys everywhere. This is a very cute theme, and many people love the mismatched colors. This theme also tends to have a lot of different playgrounds, which can range from pirate theme to fairy core to even a bit of cottage core with picnic areas. I personally like this theme as more careless, and there is a ton of freedom to do whatever you wish with it, and there's really no boundaries as long as you have some bright colors in there and everything kind of doesn't look like it goes together, which is adorable. Due to the amount of items released around the holidays, various holiday themes are very popular because of the amount of items that you can use and the ease that you can use them. Many people have Christmas or Halloween islands year round. These islands are great to visit when you really wish the holidays were closer than they really are. These islands are also tricky to do if you do not time travel because by the time you finish the season, it finished decorating for the season, it might already be over and it might look weird. Many people also love adding decorations for the holiday around their island, so this theme is actually super flexible. Personally, when the islands start getting snow, I completely decorate my island for Christmas. It is not a holiday theme, but it's just fun to do because a lot of us decorate our homes for these holidays, so it's fun to do the same with our islands. Another theme that pairs really well with almost anything is a resort theme. You can build a resort in the mountains or have a lovely beach resort. Many theme park islands kind of fall under this too, and there's some really elaborate Disneyland islands out there. They are amazing, and it's almost freaky how good they are. These islands feel like a virtual vacation and can be so fun to play around in dreams because you can enjoy them and not have to build them yourself because they take so much effort and I can't even imagine. I personally have a zoo on my island that I'm working on, and I love to go visit other islands that either have zoos or are zoo themed to get more inspiration for my own. So I definitely use the Dream Islands to my advantage. Our final theme is honestly one of the most popular, and that is movie and book themed. These islands are completely based off a book or movie like Harry Potter, House Flying Castle, Totoro, and many, many others. These islands often have a ton of detail and are so cool to explore because you never know what they will include. There are so many different callbacks to the movie in unexpected ways that I love these islands. Touring these islands are so cool, and I've even done a tour of a Harry Potter island. If you want to check that out, I will put it in the description. Sometimes I will be touring an island and people just add small details from a book or movie, even if that's not their theme, which is super cool because it adds hidden Easter eggs, and I just love this theme so much. I hope hearing and seeing all these themes can help you guys develop your islands and see what themes are out there. Not every Animal Crossing theme was in this video because there are really endless possibilities out there. Picking one theme can be very overwhelming, so what I love to do is have different themes throughout my island. For example, I have a boardwalk in the front, a Japanese market dock on the left side with a resort. In the back half of my island, I have a zoo. For me, this works great as originally my zoo was really tiny and I enjoyed building it so much I made it a larger part of my island. This makes decorating a lot less daunting and so much more fun because you feel like you're actually getting somewhere if you start small and then slowly you're just amazed because your whole island's decorated and it looks amazing. If you want me to tour your Animal Crossing island, let me know in the comments down below and I will totally check them out. I love checking out different islands, especially from the community. I will see you all next time. Bye!